Hey everyone, Nick Britsky from the Beer Necessities. What happens if you have all this beer, case in point, and no one to drink it with? Well, we've enlisted the help of 4 Metro Detroit beer experts to teach us about beer tasting groups. This is a great way to share beers and learn about some new beers in the process. So why don't we listen in and hear what they have to say?
There's probably hundreds upon hundreds of beer festivals going on everywhere now, and that's probably one of the quickest ways to get involved is volunteer to pour. I mean, you get to see behind the scenes.
Well, honestly, I think I'd start online. I think a lot of times, Facebook and the other social media platforms are a great place to start.
Mainly really getting involved with your local craft beer scene is a good spot to start.
I moved into a new house about 3 years ago, and I got a chance to meet some of my neighbors, and I told them I was a home brewer, and someone like, oh, I'm just starting to get into craft beer, and I think that kind of kicked things off with a lot of them.
You know, a lot of it's just following like what kind of comes out, from the breweries that you like to enjoy. A lot of times I'll just kind of browse the store too.
Craft beer people love talking about it, so if you go into a store that has a really big selection, I've never had a problem saying, hey, is there anything new or different or something you'd recommend?
And just kind of go out on a limb, too, and just try some random bottles that maybe are good, maybe you're not. That's half the fun, right?
Pick what their main drink is. Oh, you drink big chocolatey red wines. Well, you'll probably love this coffee, porter or stout or something.
Brown bagging is the big thing to do because I have a ton of people that like, no, I don't drink beer, I don't like beer, I hate beer. And I'm like, okay, well, this isn't a beer. What I'm pouring you, and you pour them, I don't know, a hibiscus saison or a pineapple wheat or whatever it is, and they won't know it's beer right away.
Yeah.
They'll sit there and they'll be like, this is great, this is awesome, and you're like, yeah, you just drank a beer. So glassware would be a big one, but then again, it also depends on what kind of glassware you have in your house. I mean, I know we have an entire bar set in our basement, but we don't have all the glassware for correct beers.
I don't.
You're missing, so basically, once you pour it into the glass, you get the color, you get the aromaticness that you would miss if you were drinking it out of a can or a bottle because it closes off all of that.
Someone did happen to stumble into traffic once because they tried to drink one of my beers out of a bottle. I don't know what happened. I was with them the next moment they were gone. The perfect food to put out when you're doing beer tasting is hard pretzels. Mm-hmm. They got salt on them.
Yeah.
They are dry enough to where it really helps cleanse that palate between tastes.
Salty, fatty snacks are probably the best thing to put out when you're tasting beer. I wouldn't get too crazy with the flavors if you're getting crazy with the flavors in the glass, because you're going to lose everything you're trying to go for when you're trying to talk about the beer and everything like that. You want to clean your palate, but also stay thirsty.
So those were some great tips and tricks on how to set up your own beer tasting group in your neck of the woods, including what technology to look at, how to encourage your non-beer drinking friends to taste along with you, and of course an excuse to enjoy some fatty, salty food, an ideal pairing to try with some beer. Quick reminder to subscribe to us on YouTube, check us out on social media, and until next time, this is Nick Britsky for the Beer Necessities. Cheers.